Okay, I want to jump into the Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton House of Horrors match. And Court, I know you have your opinion on this, but also I know you watch Raw and SmackDown, and there was some physicality or a promo by Bray Wyatt towards the end of Raw, I guess, that you're going to have to smarten me up on because I guess it furthered where he's going. But let me just say this about the House of Horrors match. I watched this as a fan. And when I watch these guys, start the scrap inside the house, I thought it was shot really well. I thought it was edited really well. The music, the score, was almost cinematic. The music kind of was like, well, the music's a little strange because I wasn't expecting a score. But the guys working in the house, they did everything that they could. It was shot as well as it could be shot. I thought it was executed damn near to perfection. Now, you got to suspend your disbelief. Bray gets into a limousine, and God damn it, Randy's got a refrigerator on him. Ain't no way he's going to get that fridge off. And God damn it, later on down the card, here he is. He's in the ring, and boy, all of a sudden there's Randy Orton as well. Don't know how he got there, but they ended up going to work inside the squared circle, and out of nowhere, as they get close to a finish, well, this was the finish, the Singh brothers ambush Orton. Jinder Mahal comes out, and Wyatt jumps on for an easy win. Give me your thoughts on this, Court. I thought it was well executed for something that was out of the norm. And sometimes I'm a pro wrestler first and foremost. This is entertainment business. It entertained me in the House of Horror. I understood where you're coming from when you get in the ring. Both guys work their balls off. So give me your thoughts on the totality of this and your esteemed opinion.
Well, I got to take a step back because this match, the House of Horrors match, is a Michael Hayes dream match. He was pitching this match when I was a part of WWE Creative, and from talking with guys like Edge and Christian, he was pitching this match along with the Hardys to do a match like this, I think in like around 2000. So he's been trying to do this match for almost 2 decades, and lo and behold, I think Freebird finally got Vince to sign off on it in 2017. So finally the Freebird gets that match, and I don't know, it kind of looked like the house out of the Bad Street USA video. I'm just saying it might have been the same house. But I think it's a difference of 24 hours. To me, this concept would have been a huge hit on Live Raw versus pay-per-view. I just think it would have worked a little bit better. You could have done it in the first. I mean, listen, you have 3 hours on a Monday night. You could have started that match at the top of the first hour, go back to it, and then finish it in the third hour. And for TV, I think, tune in. There's some weird haunted house match going on. It's better free TV than a network event type match. That being said, it was a funky match, but the thing is about wrestling, I love something that's a little different, a little off the beaten path. And this was way off the beaten path. It wasn't quite as good as like the Hardys when we talked about their broken stuff they did in Impact, which I thought was really well done. This wasn't their stuff is almost supposed to be kind of hokey. This felt a little hokey, but it wasn't intentional. And you got to protect Bray's gimmick. And I thought seeing Bray in a limo was a little odd. It's one thing Randy Orton, but it was a little odd. And I thought the blue lighting was a little odd on the outside. I thought the tractor gimmick was a cool spot when they had it going backwards and forward and all that shit. But it was almost in that it was kind of campy for me. It was a little campy for me, but to each their own. And hey, that's why I like wrestling, though, because you can have stuff like this. You can have a Chamber of Horrors match like Dusty did in '92 in WCW with El Gigante, the Steiner, Sting, Abdullah. It was a crazy match. And that's doing that once in a while. It's fun. It's different. You can't have just clean matches up and down, and you can only do so many matches when you can't get color. So, doing a First Blood match is out. Doing a lot of these like cage matches, it's hard when you can't get color. So doing stuff like this is different. Sometimes when you experiment, you hit a grand slam. Other times you just hit a single or a double. Sometimes you strike out. So I commend them for going outside and finally doing the match Freebird's been wanting to do for a long time. for me, it wasn't necessarily great, but I still think Chamber of Horrors beats this in terms of all-time weirdness.
Well, this interesting intel from you, knowing that this was a Michael Hayes idea for a long time, East Coast connection coming through strong on that point. And to your point, I also thought it was a little in the vein of what the Hardys had done, at nighttime, out there and the broken stuff. And that was, Jesus Christ, I'd never seen that done before. I had never seen it done before, whether it's been done before or not. So it reminded me a little bit of taking a page out of the Hardy's book. So anyway, that being said, it was what it was. And here's another thing about Randy Orton. And I was flipping around on the network, and I happened to see an interview with Randy Orton. I think it was his wife, and Renee was interviewing him. And I got a chance to see Randy just sit there and talk and communicate back and forth. And I'm thinking, you know what? I really like this guy that's talking, but I don't get a chance to see that enough. And whether I want to like him or not, I'm engaged by him. He's very engaged when he's being Randy Orton. Sometimes when he goes in that promo mode, it's just kind of like one trick pony or kind of a one speed. And I think there's more to Randy than that. And especially watching him in a sit-down interview, just conversing, he was very interesting. Man, I wish he would do more of that in his promo work. So I actually know a little. He's got a great gimmick, the Viper, Randy Orton, all this other stuff. But I'd like more out of him personally so that I can become more invested in him. Based on the conversation that I saw, just him sitting there, I would love to see that from Randy Orton.
Yeah, he has a very powerful personality that can definitely translate across TV if they allowed him to have that free reign.
It's magnetic. It's more magnetic than what he's doing.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, my first day on the job, I just remember he really does stick out in my mind. He can be a guy that is memorable, and you just let him freestyle out there, and I don't think you're going to have much of a problem at all. He's very smooth, very polished, and whether he's going to be a babyface like he pretty much was in that interview you're talking about, or he can be a heel. Oh, Randy could be a real heel. He's got it in him. He can do it for sure. It's just letting him have that free reign. And, doing shows like Talking Smack and the Raw show they have on the network gives these guys the ability to kind of show the office that they do have that in them. That's where The Miz started to really get, I think, the ability to have more free reign in doing the promos and doing the stuff he wanted to do out there was during Talking Smack and his back and forth with Daniel Bryan. It was like this epiphany everyone had. Oh my God, this guy can really fire up. He's really good in his own words. And so it's almost like that seems to be the testing ground, and that's an opportunity for the talent when they're out there to shine and show the writers, show the creative team, show Vince, everyone that they got game on the mic. It's up to you now to deliver. It's a real good opportunity for them to showcase, and hopefully more guys can move that in their direction and have the ability to control their verbiage and a little more creative freedom. And I understand WWE too, not being sure what guys can do, and it's live TV and you're trying to protect them and also deliver a surefire quality product. So it's a little bit of a trust factor, and it's a little bit of a confidence thing on both sides. And so when you have these network opportunities like these shows, it gives you that freedom to at least try and go there. So we'll see what happens with Randy, but I think having a Randy, a more relaxed Randy on the mic is better. I think the intense thing, it just gets to be one note too much. So that's the only thing I'd say about Randy. I mean, he's so good in the ring, just so polished. And this isn't a knock on Randy. It's kind of the condition in which he has to operate.
All right, moving on. But great points there as far as those live things afterwards. When you get a chance just to be you, man. When you get one of those spots, go out there and be you and just let it fly. Don't try too hard. Just go be you. And it worked out for me many years ago. And I'm excited about that opportunity that they have. And like you said, all of a sudden your eyes open like, God damn, hey, we got something here we didn't know we had.